Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole flock of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shah. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Arkin, pushing the truth and believing the truth, to the four ends of the earth, the entire world, waking up the whole elect. And shalom to the Awad who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah from Jim Masolano Camp coming into another lesson. In truth, facts, faith, and edification, and another daily edification, Lord willing, this be edifying. So I titled this lesson, The Words of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, do hurt. The words of the Lord do hurt. So this is a lesson on these devils, Esau, Edom, right? So-called white man, and how they are being destroyed, man. Now, I got a few clips I'm going to show. Because in this movie, this last movie, The Kingsman, they show you in there how this lady, Queen Victoria, right? Show you how in the movie, show you how she raised up, which was I guess her nephews, because they was cousins, right? So it said, well, one of them was her grandson, because I got a clip from YouTube that's going into this whole thing about Queen Victoria and her grandson, right? And how he grew up and turned on his own people, right? Which that's that bloodline of Esau, man, right? They have always been fighting amongst themselves. And that's what I'm using these clips to show. The Lord is destroying these devils from within, right? Because they tell you in Job 18:7 that his own counsel should cast him down. So you got them that's joined the North America Babylon the Great, right? Which is EU and NATO. But in the midst of them, that's why I say the Egyptian against the Egyptian in Isaiah 19, right? Because their own counsel should cast them down. So in the movie, the last movie they made, Kingsman, it show you how Queen Victoria raised up these three boys, and these three guys, these three boys grew up to be the leaders of Britain, the leader of Germany, and the leader of Russia, right? So in the movie Kingsman, it show you that. So I was watching the clip with Queen Victoria and her grandson and how he grew up to turn on them, right? So I just want to show these clips. I'm gonna get a few precepts how the Lord is destroying these devils from within, man. As it say again, Job 18:7, it say his own counsel shall take him down, right? So let me get this first. Now in the movie, The Kingsman, the last movie, it show you how Queen Victoria raised up these three young boys, and all three of them grew up to be one grew up to be the leader over Russia, one was the leader over Great Britain, and one is the leader over Germany, which is who? All Edomites, right? So let me pull this. So check this out. Turn this volume down. Lord, will it be edifying? This is for educational purposes only. This is not for monetary gain. It is not only copyright to these video. This is for educational purposes only. So check this out.
When the First World War broke out in 1914, a royal family turned on itself. Germany's leader, Kaiser Wilhelm II, was Queen Victoria's grandson. As a child, he had loved playing in the gardens and palaces of the British royal family. But now, he was taking up arms against his own mother's country.
Do you see that? And that's what these devils been doing since Alexander the Greek, man. They've been fighting amongst themselves, man. Okay? Hold on. Let's run that back. Let's run that back. Just for so you can see what's going on, man.
Broke out in 1914. A royal family turned on itself. Germany's leader, Kaiser Wilhelm II, was Queen Victoria's grandson. As a child, he had loved playing in the gardens and palaces of the British royal family. But now, he was taking up arms against his own mother's country. Behind this very public clash lies a story of private pain, now revealed by a long-hidden cache of royal letters.
It read like a gothic horror story. It really did, and it got worse the further I got into it.
At its center, a terrified little boy with a secret disability, thought shameful at the time.
Royalty gave money to hospitals to support disabled children. They did not have one in their midst.
A child subjected to gruesome torture in the name of science and troubled by dark, incestuous desires.
Then you took off your gloves and laid your hand gently on my lips for me to kiss it.
It's a story only being pieced together now, and one that reveals how a poisoned family relationship helped shape the future of a continent. In 1914, the German Emperor, Kaiser Wilhelm, led his country into a war that resulted in the deaths of tens of millions and the devastation of Europe. Just like Adolf Hitler 25 years later, he was seen in Britain as a power-hungry madman, in league with the devil.
And why are they in league with the devil? With Satan, actually, because devil just means deceiver, right? Diablos, which means deceiver. Why are they in league with the devil, which is the spiritual demon Satan? Because they are the physical seeds of Satan, man. Okay? And it's like it just said, 25 years later, Hitler came after this guy. And you saw how they all twist their mustache up, these Germans, man. Right? So I want to show you that. Now, when you go to, let me come back to me. When you go to, let me get this clip of this movie Kingsman, right? So in this movie, this is the trailer. So listen to this. Because they already had this in these movies, man.
The truth is, the world is ruled by corruption and greed.
You see, the world is ruled by corruption and greed, right? Listen.
My flock, this will not be a war of heroes. Nations will slaughter each other while we get rich.
You see, that's the elites, man. Nations will slaughter each other. Well, he said, while we get rich, right?
The world is ruled by corruption and greed.
Hold on. And when you watch the movie, he's talking to his son in this scene. Listen.
The truth is, the world is ruled by corruption and greed.
That's how Babylon the Great is ruled, man. By corruption and greed. So in this movie, it show you that Queen Victoria raised up 3 sons, right? So 3 men. So one was her grandson, right? When you look at this, Salakia. One was her grandson. So you got Britain, Germany, and Russia right here. These are the 3 suits, right? It tell you what, that her grandson rose up and turned against them, man. So I want to show those clips before I get these precepts. Now, in Exodus 22, the Lord gave us a law, right? The Lord gave you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. He gave you different laws, right? Different laws, statutes, and commandments. And this is one of the laws that the Lord gave us. Because we're supposed to conduct ourselves different from all the heathen nations. So this is in Exodus 20:21. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall be no blood be shed for him. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him, for he shall make full restitution, right? Remember the buzzword restitution. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double. Right? If a man should cause if a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field, or the beast of his own field, and of the best of his own vineyard, shall he make restitution. Right? If fire break out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindleth the fire shall surely make restitution. So the Lord gave us laws, man, how we should conduct ourselves, right? When you jump down to verse 16, these are all things that's dealing with theft, stealing, taking another man's, right, own. Exodus 22:16, it say, no, Exodus 21:16, and he that stealeth a man that selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So in Exodus 22, it goes into the different things. If you steal your ox, right? If you steal your sheep, your ox, your vineyards, right? If he take what is not his, it said what? He got to pay double, right? Let's read it again. Exodus 22 and verse 6. If fire break out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindleth the fire shall surely make restitution. Well, what did this devil do? He burnt down the temples, right? When you read the stories, right? Let's get this. This is 1 Ezra 4 in verse 45. It reads, it said, thou hast vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldeans, right? So as these Babylonians were taking us down, when you read it in Psalm 37, right? Esau was there, right? It's also in Psalms chapter 50. Esau was there to do these things, right? He was there to help the Babylonian destroyers. So it said what in the law, in Exodus 22, right? Let's read it one more time. Exodus 22 and 6. It's dealing with the thief, right? It's dealing with theft. Let's read one again. Exodus 22 and 1. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 ox for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, then shall no blood be shed for him, right? Because the punishment was just. It's a verse 4. If the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, is we not still found these devils' hand alive? Yes, man. It's Exodus 20:24. If the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be of ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double. If a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, what the Lord say? We shall plant, but they shall eat, right? It say, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field of the beasts of his own field, and of the best of his own vineyard shall he make restitution. If the fire break out and catching thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindleth the fire shall surely make restitution, right? If a man should deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. That's this devil, man. So what we're dealing with here is a thief. What it says in John 10 and 10? A thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. So the Lord said these devils got to pay back everything they have done, right? This is Micah 2 and 1. It reads, woe to them that devise iniquity and were evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields, you see, and take them by violence and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. So these devils got to pay for everything that they done, man. Right? Exodus 21:16 say, and he that stealeth from man and selleth him, or if they be found in his hand, he shall surely get put to death. Right? Well, when you read Jeremiah 50:33, what does it read? Because Jake think they free, man, and you ain't free. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, Jeremiah 50:33. The children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. So we are still in these devils' hands, right? So in Proverbs 4:16, it reads, for they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. And that's what the Lord said, these devils got to pay back restitution. This is Jeremiah. This is Job 20:18. It reads, that which he labored for shall he restore. You see, going back into the law, man. In Exodus 22, that which he labored for, he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. You see, and he should not rejoice therein, because he have oppressed and have taken Salakia, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he buildeth not. So everything these devils they have done, the Lord said they got to pay for it, man. Right? This is Psalms 49:11. It reads, Salakia, their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling place to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. And the Lord said, what? You're supposed to remove the landmarks, right? When you go to Psalm 17:14, it reads, it say, from men which are thy hand, O Yahweh, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasures, because Isaac blessed them with the sword, and they had the mean of the earth, right? They are full of children, and they leave the rest of their substance to their babes, which they got to pay back to the Hebrew Israelites, man, according to the restoration, the restitution, man, of the things that he took, man, right? Whether it be sheep, ox, or took vineyards or destroyed lands, took lands and destroyed them, man. He got to pay all that back, right? This is let's get this. Deuteronomy 19 and 14 reads, Salakia, thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that the Lord Yahweh thy power giveth thee to possess it. Well, these devils, they remove landmarks. I just realized in Psalm 49:11, they call their lands after their own names, right? Amerigo Vespucci, right? North America, Babylon the Great, right? Leo Scipius Africanus, right? Africa, right? It has Elder Malcolm always going to Leo Scipio Africanus' brother, who named Asia, man. Okay. So this is because you're not supposed to remove a man's landmark, man. That's the law that the Lord gave us, man. This is Proverbs 22 and 28. Remove not the ancient landmarks which thy fathers have set. What do these devils do? They go into our land and take it and say that it's theirs, man. Right? And they only been there since 1948, man. 1947, 48, right? This is Acts chapter 3. And that's why Yahweh said he's gonna come back and restore all things, man. It's Acts 3 and 20. It reads, and he shall send Yahweh Mashiach, which before was preached unto you, whom the heaven must receive unto the times of restitution of all things, which power have spoken by the mouth of all his holy prophets since the world began. So restitution got to come. And this devil, that's why I said, what? They shall build up our walls, man. Right? As a matter of fact, let's get that. I just want to make these points, man. This Isaiah 61. I want to make these points according to the law in Exodus 21 and Exodus 22. Isaiah 61 in verse 7, it reads, for your shame you shall have double, talking about us, the Israelites, and for confusion. What confusion? Who brought us confusion? Esau, Edom, so-called white man. Okay, they brought us confusion. For your shame you shall have double, and for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore, in their land they shall possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be unto them. You see, the Israelites, man, because of what these devils did, right? Because when you got, as the lesson say, let's get this, Obadiah 1, right? If you got a vineyard, hold on, before I get Obadiah 1 and 5, let's read this again in Exodus 22. Exodus 22 reads, Exodus 22 and verse 5, it reads, if a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eating, right? If he had an HO stuff up, right? If a man cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field of the best of his own field, and of the best of his own vineyard, shall he make restitution, right? That's why I read Job 20 and 18. It's talking about these devils. It say, Job 20:18, that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. You see? So this devil got to pay for everything that he took, man. Right? So it said in Exodus 22, right? If a guy come into a field and eat it all up, he got to pay it back. Well, in ancient time, man, we left the vineyards was not all the fruits was not taken, man. In case some guy come by that needs something to eat. So you left things right in the vineyard. This Obadiah 1 and 5. It reads, if these came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? How are you cut off? Because you didn't leave nothing, right? If it say if these came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? Now hold on. Would they have not stolen till they had enough? When you go back to Exodus, that's why the Lord set these laws in place, man, that we follow them. This is Exodus 22. Let's read again in verse 1. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 ox for an ox and 4 sheep for an sheep. If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him, because it was justified in what he was doing. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him, for he should make full restitution. If he have nothing, then shall he be sold for his theft. You see that? This is verse 4. If the thief be certainly found in his hand alive, like I said, are we not still found in these devil's hand? Yo, he is, man. Jeremiah 50:33. I read it. It said, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double. If a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, right? To be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field, of the best of his own field, and of the best of his own vineyard, shall he make restitution. So when you go to Obadiah 1 and 5, it talks about that same law. Obadiah 1 and 5. If these came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? This in parentheses when you look it up. How art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? Right? You're going to eat much as you can get, and you're going to keep it moving. If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they have not leave some grapes? They would leave some grapes, man. But this devil, as I tell you in Habakkuk 2, right? He's not going to leave anything, man. Therefore, he got to pay for what he did. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, and neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. You see? So in Jeremiah 49 and 9, right? It reads, Jeremiah 49 and 9 reads, if great gatherers came to thee, would they have not leave some gleaning grapes? If these by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare. Why? Because he done stolen everything, man. I have uncovered his secret places, and he should not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not, right? Because this devil would not leave nothing, man. In John 10 and 10, it tell you that. This is John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. And that's what this devil has done, man. So it said what in Job 18, let's read again, Job 20 and 18, it reads, that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he buildeth not. So these devils, the Lord is bringing them down amongst themselves, and that's why I say in Job 18 and 7, it reads, the steps of his strength shall be straightening, and his own counsel shall cast him down. And that's what we see going on, man. We see the counsel of these devils being cast down by their own people, man. The Lord said it in was it Psalm 64:8, right? Verse 7 say, in Psalm 64:7 say, and power shall shoot at them with the arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. Verse 8 say, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and all that see them shall flee away. So what we see going on is these devils, and I'm watching the movie, it's an older movie, 2009, the movie Watchmen. In the movie, they talking about how the Soviet Union is finna go against US, right? And that's in the movie Watchmen. That was 2009. It's talking about how the Soviet Union, what the Lord said in Ezekiel 38, said He's gonna put hooks into the jaws, right, of Russia and turn them back to the old Soviet Union war state, man, right? So in the movie I'm watching, it's an old movie, 2009, the movie Watchmen, they talk about how the Soviet Union is going to go against US because they have nuclear weapons now, right? As all the other nations do. Joel 3. So as the guy and the chick, it was the scene when they was at the restaurant. When they came out the door, and I just caught it, I had to wind it back and play it again. When they came out the movie, at the restaurant in the movie, Watchmen, he called a cab for it, right? The cab that picked her up on the top of the cab, the cab got the numbers, right? And I just caught this. The number said 2022, man. And numbers, these devils deal with these numbers, man. So I just want to bring this out about that movie, the last movie, The Kingsman, right? How Victoria raised up these three men. One of them was a grandson. The other two was the grandson's cousins, right? One grew up to be over Britain, one grew up to be over Germany, and one grew up to be over Russia, which are all Edomites. Watch the movie. The last movie is called The Kingsman, right? So in the movie Kingsman, it told you Victoria raised up these three young men who was ruler over Britain, Germany, and Russia, man. All Edomites. And in the movie, when you watch it, they are fighting against each other, man. Okay? In the movie. Now I just played the clip that I pulled up. Let me play it again before I close. This on YouTube. It's the spirit that movie came out, and I found this clip about Victoria and her grandson, right? Let me play it again. Only a couple minutes of this. So let's play it again.
When the First World War broke out in 1914, a royal family turned on itself. Germany's leader, Kaiser Wilhelm II, was Queen Victoria's grandson.
Now, in the movie Kingsman, he's one of those three men that she raised up. Okay? Listen.
As a child, he had loved playing in the gardens and palaces of the British royal family. But now, he was taking up arms against his own mother's country.
Now, this guy, Hitler came out of this. They're gonna mention it.
Behind this very public clash lies a story of private pain, now revealed by a long-hidden cache of royal letters.
It read like a gothic horror story. It really did, and it got worse the further I got into it.
At its center, a terrified little boy with a secret disability, thought shameful at the time.
Royalty gave money to hospitals to support disabled children. They did not have one in their midst.
A child subjected to gruesome torture in the name of science and troubled by dark, incestuous desires.
Then you took off your gloves and laid your hand gently on my lips for me to kiss it.
It's a story only being pieced together now, and one that reveals how a poisoned family relationship helped shape the future of a continent. In 1914, the German Emperor, Kaiser Wilhelm, led his country into a war that resulted in the deaths of tens of millions
Mm.
and the devastation of Europe. Just like Adolf Hitler 25 years later, he was seen in Britain as a power-hungry madman, in league with the devil.
You see, hey, man, ain't no coincidence, man, that they painted, that Esau Edom through his iconoclasm, right? Had the devil painted red. Why didn't they have the devil painted blue or green or orange? Because red represents power, man. Okay, the color red represents power. I brought them out early before you came in, the water though. So it shows you, man. Now, when you watch the movie Kingsman, the last one they just made, it show you in the movie that Queen Victoria raised up 3 young men. One of them was a grandson, right? The other 2 was his cousins. One became over Britain, Germany, and Russia, man. Okay? And this guy, her grandson, he came against Great Britain. That's what the whole thing about Germany, man. So you see, these devils have been fighting amongst themselves from the beginning, man. From the time of this devil, Alexander the Greek, all the way down to right now, man. When Alexander the Greek died, his 4 generals would fight amongst themselves. And what's the world's power source? It's Esau Edom, man. Okay? Who controls Britain and Germany and Russia? It's Edomites. Who controls Turkey? It's Edomites. These devils. Who control Babylon the Great? It's Edomites, man. Show you, hey, the Lord is bringing these devils down, man. And they are all separated. Let's get this. I was going to close. I'm going to get a couple more precepts. I don't want to make this too long. This is Luke 11 and 17. But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. You see? And that's what we see going on, man. They are falling. This is Isaiah 19 and 2. Actually, Isaiah 19 and 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord, Yahweh Shema shall ride upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the islands of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. Listen, verse 4, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, to my Russia, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts. So who's going to take down Babylon the Great? It's prophecy in Ezekiel 38, man. Right? So what we see going on is, let's get this. And these devils fight amongst themselves, man. Well, they talking to themselves. This is Ecclesiastes 21 and 27. It reads, when the ungodly curseth Satan, he curseth his own soul, man. So you got this back and forth. They have always been fighting amongst themselves. When you got after Alexander the Great, you had his 4 generals fight amongst themselves. Then you had these devils over here trying to colonize Babylon the Great, right? The Spanish, the French, and the British, man. Okay. And then you had North America going against Britain. These are the ones that funded North America, man. Show you how wicked these devils is. In Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah 50. Great Britain was the ones that funded Babylon the Great, man. And they fighting against the hand that fed them, man. This Jeremiah 50 and 12. Your mother, which is Great Britain, shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. You see that? So these devils, hey, and that's why you had the whole, even though they still together, right? They still together. And that's why I say in Daniel's too. That's what they hate that whole thing about the Brexit, separating from basically Brexit, EU separating from Babylon the Great, man. This is Daniel 2:43, reading the point. This is Daniel 2, matter of fact, in verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdue all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas, because Babylon the Great conquered every nation, right, through the sword. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, that's where we at now in the statue. We're in the feet, which is EU, NATO, and North America. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And that's why you got EU is the monetary, right? EU is the monetary, North America is the military. Salakia. EU is the monetary. Yeah, I think I said that. EU is monetary, NATO is military, and North America, what it is, I'm sorry, you got in Revelation 16, it say, out of the dragon mouth was 3 unclean spirits, right? So you got military, monetary, and you got religion. That's what I meant to say, right? So you got EU, NATO. EU is the monetary, right? And North America and NATO is joined as the military, right? And then you got the religion. Those are 3 unclean spirits, right? It say, whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken, right? That's that separation. It say, verse 43, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, meaning the Edomites. They're going to mingle themselves with the other nations, right? It say, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with miry clay. And now we see the separation of these nations separating. Why? Because it said what? They will mingle themselves with the seed of men. I'm talking about the Edomites. Because you got 3 classifications of men: seed of the wicked, right? Seed of men, and the sons of the Lord, right? So you got the seed of men, you got the seeds of the wicked was trying to mingle themselves with the seeds of men, but they are not cleaving, they just mingling for a period of time. I can tell you Revelation 17, the Lord said, well, he's going to get their power. He put the spirit on the other nation to get their power to the beast until the words of the Lord be fulfilled, right? So in Revelation 16, let's get this. I want to make this point. It's Revelation 16 to 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, which is the Roman Empire, right? It say, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, right? For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to battle of the great day of power, Yahweh Shema Shai. It'll tell you Revelation 20. These devils came out the caves, right, to deceive the world and to gather Gog and Magog for war, man, right? So the 3 unclean spirits is EU, Babylon the Great, which is Babylon and NATO, which is the military. EU is the monetary, and you got the Roman Catholic dogma, which is the religion. Those are the 3 unclean spirits: religion, money, and the military and monetary, man. Okay, so that's why the Lord is breaking these things up, man. And so I just want to make that point dealing with that movie, Kingsman, and the article with a video that I caught about how Queen Victoria's grandson grew up and turned on Britain, man. This nigga became the leader over Germany, man. The Lord is cold, man. Hey, so the water for tuning in, the water for your precepts. And give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rikak Kodash, the bonus to the apostles and elders of great millstone, who well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all Israel, whether accepted or not. And the sense of saying, taste to all the argument, pushing the truth, and believing in the truth throughout the 4 winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hope for the elect. And shalom to that water who are listening and learning, that few sisters who are listening and learning. Hey, throughout for tuning in, may Yahweh Shema Shah Continue blessing your houses. Stay prayed up.